This looks pretty familiar, but that might not be a bad thing. Holy! Yeah, it looks a lot like this thing. That's okay because... well, it's one of my favorite small-scale cars. Are there differences with this one? I don't know. There's actually a newer version of this car, so hopefully this is that newer version. Maybe even has its own upgrades. There's already a hole in the box, so I guess we'll just go in through there. And they shove those wheels in there real good. Oh, that's cute. I will say I really do like that black and yellow. Even though I'm scared to death of bumblebees. This one came with the paddle tires as well. And we'll see if we can get it across this lake here with the paddle tires. All kinds of stuff in here. Extra parts. LiPo charging bag. Nah, we don't need that. Wheelie bar. Extra springs, which I believe these are stiffer springs. We put those on here, so we'll leave the softer ones on this one. We've got part breakdowns and part numbers here in the owner's manual. Yes, so this is the newer version. See how it's got telescoping drive shafts here in the front and in the rear as well. This one only had them in the rear. The front has regular old CVDs. See ya, old model. Wheelie bar is on. All right, so problem. With this one, when we had the regular tires on it, yeah, it tipped over really easy. They're just really grippy. They grab the road really well. And really, they grab dirt well too. It was just really tip over happy. They have found themselves a new home on this truck here, being that it's so wide, they actually work really well. So I've got a couple other things I want to try if this one still has that problem. See if we can sort it out without having to go to the paddle tires. Also, we're gonna do speed tests with the regular tires and with the paddle tires on there. I did that test on another car and the paddle tires were actually faster. This comes with a 3S battery, which I've already got hooked to my charger, which I'll link in the description for you. It's Bluetooth capable, so besides plugging and unplugging the batteries, you can control it with your phone. Seems to have a Bluetooth range of roughly 60 feet or so. A 4400 kV brushless motor, which I do believe one of these motors is gonna go in this car. It's got a heatsink and a fan on it, heatsink and a fan on the ESC. Oh, it is 3S capable. Well, duh, that's the battery it comes with. Metal chassis, which I have yet to bend one of these chassis because that is a very thick aluminum and heavy feeling chassis in a comparably lightweight car. It does have an upper deck chassis brace to help keep it from bending. Metal center drive shaft. I already showed you those metal telescoping drive shafts. These do have the updated differential gears. All metal, of course. I remember being a little disappointed in the servo on that car. This one does look like the same, so I'm not expecting changes. Oil-filled shocks with a really great feel to them. A whole lot of rear suspension travel. The front doesn't have quite as much. Adjustable tie rods. Also, this probably, unlike this one, has the dual mode ESC where you have to push the ESC power button 5 times to put it in 3S mode. A lot of people were getting on me saying that I didn't do that on this car, but that car doesn't have that mode. This is the old model. Time for the good stuff. There we go. So it does seem a little easier to control. I don't know why though. Oh, that did not work. Oh. Let's put it in 3S mode. I think this is how you do it. Yep. I think it's gonna go faster now. Whoa! Yes. Yes, it does. Holy! This thing is untamable. But there's definitely something about it. It's much more controllable than that other model was. Like, tons more. Really likes these logs. Whoa! I would have expected something to break by now. Oops. Even Austin Powers couldn't get out of this one. There's battery. I knew it had to be soon. That was a long time. Well, holy cheese and crackers. I did not expect that to survive. Sometimes I get started and I can't stop. And because it was, and I wasn't expecting it to handle easily, but it handled really well. This thing would not do that on these tires. And I'm pretty sure besides the red and white, they're exactly the same. Literally not a single thing is broken. Okay, asphalt testing. Oh no! Oh good, just a wheel nut came off. Ah, okay. Oh yeah! That was really good. Give it back. You're destructive. Oh, easy access for you.
43.
43. Uh-oh, something happened. Hinge pin popped out of the control arm. Well, the reason is because we did actually break this control arm here. And of course, in our extra control arm pieces, it does not come with a rear. So, we'll just borrow one from this car for now. What are you doing? Hey! Hey! Where are you going? Oh, I got you now. What? There's two of you. Oh yeah. Whoa. 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 37 miles an hour. Definitely slower on the paddles. Never mind this mess, but we are still going to try to make it even more stable here in just a minute.
Did that hurt?
No. Wasn't your fault. I'm the one standing here like a doofus. It's all for the shot. Okay, we got it a little dirty. I don't think anything broke. Never mind this project. It's gonna be really cool though, I hope. Alright, now to see if we can get it even more stable, using my brand new impact driver and drill that Santa got me, we're gonna put the stock tires back on and we're gonna add some hex extenders. These are 15 millimeters in length. This specific set that I have here, I have to drill out just a little bit. Also have to drill out the wheels to a 5 millimeter hole. There's probably kits out there that'll work without drilling, but you still gotta drill the tires and it would just be trial and error. I'll link these in the description. That should be much more stable. Looks so much better that way. Should have come that way from the factory. That older black model, I had trouble even just on the 2S battery getting it to a decent speed to do jumps out in the backyard on that mud pile. This one was so much easier to control. Now it'll be even better. We're gonna do a few jumps too, just to make sure that those extended hubs don't cause any bent axles, because that is putting much more strain on those parts. It's all in the leverage. Okay, 3S going back in it. Yeah, stable. Whoa! I know the wet pavement kind of skews our test a little bit here. There you go. Oh, it does look like we bent something. I think that's the wheel itself that just broke there. Oh yeah! Finally! I think that we have put this thing through enough. Plenty of breaks, plenty of repairs, and a whole lot of abuse that I'm surprised it took. I had a feeling once we put those extenders on that something would happen. It just puts a lot more strain on all the parts because there's more leverage. Not what I was going for, but it's cold outside, so not unexpected. Look what you've done! Quiet, Hector. But that time we broke the steering knuckle here, the upper shock mount, and we broke this wheel. I think this truck would have been 1,000 times better if it had a wider stance like this. With that said, it's still a very awesome truck, and maybe the reason that it was more controllable than the old model is that it has a gyro. Because I feel like I thought, yeah, none of that's right. I thought that I saw some gyro action. However, there is no mention of it at all in the manual. Doesn't look like it's gyroing to me. So yeah, I guess it doesn't have one. I don't know, I don't have an answer, but this one was much more controllable. Oh yeah, totally cracked out the inside of the wheel, but it definitely does not seem like any of the axles bent. Hypergo has always used really thick axles, so I'm not surprised. Now the other thing is it's cold outside today, and coldness does make plastic parts much more brittle. That's the first knuckle I've broken on a Hypergo too. I mean Bezgar. So with the help of my friend Brad, I figured out the model numbers. This is the HP141S in yellow, and the HP141, well, there's a little piece of it. It comes in blue and red. I imagine that one is cheaper. It doesn't have some of the upgrades that this one has, but if you want to check that one out, check out Brad's channel. I'll have that linked below. So this thing just took such a beating out there in the dirt. Once it hit the concrete, though, it seemed to start falling apart a little easier. Concrete's harder than dirt, so that's a given. Because with a car that's that fast, the crashes are harder, the jumps are bigger, meaning more impact when it hits the ground, and all that stuff is gonna break stuff. The weakest links of this, I feel like, are the front suspension. I don't know why there's so little travel there. Well, I do. It's because it needs to be able to steer, and all that linkage hinders its movement, but it'd be nice if they found a way to give it more suspension in the front. I do still feel like the servo is pretty weak, just like the old model. I would say this has superior electronics. All the fans are still working and sound perfect. No weird crazy noises. The chassis does not appear to be bent. So if you want less craziness, keep in mind that you can leave the ESC on 2S mode, and you can turn the transmitter down to 70% power. So it can be even more tameable than what you've seen, and that non-S version that Brad has comes with a 2S battery. Now, a lot of stuff broke because I drove this thing so psychotically. Under normal use, this probably isn't gonna happen, but it's still funny that I can have a car look just like this and say something like, I recommend it.